Hey Gemini, welcome to the Violet Flora Tarot. We're going to get you a romantic love message for my single Gemini. We're going to see what is blocking you in romantic love. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the Violet Flora Tarot. We have a lot of fun readings on here. And let's jump in. This is going to be a collective reading for my collective Gemini. Let's jump in, Gem. All right, Gemini, what is blocking my Gemini in romantic love? What does Gemini need to know? What is blocking them in romantic love? You have too much. Not my type. And we have incomplete. Bottom of the deck, indecision. You are afraid to make mistakes, so you won't commit either way. That feels related to the incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. Too much? You tell others too much about yourself all at once. Sit back and listen more. Okay. Conversations are a two-way street. Not my type. Be open to different types of people because you may be surprised who you find. Okay. So Gemini, I'm getting that maybe you write people off too quickly. You know? And there's like some inner work I think that maybe needs to be done as well. You know, when we want somebody to complete us, we're looking for something in someone else that only we can give ourselves. All right, Gemini, let's jump in. Let's see what Tarot has to say. Let me wet the whistle before we jump in. Okay. What does Gemini need to know in romantic love? What is blocking my single Gemini in romantic love? Let's see. Too much. Well, you know, Gemini, you tend to be very chatty, which I love that about Gemini. I think that's really great and fun. But if you are meeting someone for the first time, and sometimes this can be out of nervousness, there could be too much talking about yourself and not asking the right questions to people. You know, you could learn a lot about people by letting them talk. And I think something else that's blocking you, Gemini, is if you want that 10 of Cups, that happily ever after, I think you have to give people a chance. And we also give people a chance by giving them a chance to talk and show us who they are, you know? I think this is you really searching for that thing, right? Whatever that thing is, and maybe you aren't really sure what that thing is. Let me say, Gemini, let's say incomplete. Yeah, I feel like this is about you now, Gemini, right? There's something in you, you're trying to figure out what will fulfill you. And a block might be that you're looking for it outside of yourself, right? And I think this search for that thing to complete you has been a huge burden, really weighing you down. And sometimes it really takes looking in the mirror, you know? I'm going to take these two. Excuse me. Okay. There's way more than two. You know what? That's too many. It doesn't vibe with me right now. Okay. Let's see. What else does Gemini need to know in romantic love? What's blocking them? What's blocking my Gemini in romantic love? Chariot. Okay. So Gemini, I think with this indecision, this fear of commitment, there's like this going back to relying on yourself a lot, which is a really big positive, right? There's some things like fulfillment that we need to do on our own, but I feel like it's giving like lone wolf. And there's that indecision, right? Maybe there's like a lot of inner conflict that prevents you from making decisions, like based off fear of commitment, fear of getting hurt, right? Let me see here. I'm going to pull these up and shuffle them and then see. What else does Gemini need to know and what's blocking them in romantic love? Let's see. Yeah, 10 of Cups again. I think Gemini, unfortunately, is really wanting the emotional fulfillment, the 10 of Cups, the family, and the happily ever after with like toxic people. And I don't know if it's that you aren't recognizing that they're toxic, if you think that they're healthier than they are. This is like a burden too. It's kind of like, here's the 10 of Cups, but this is like the big block. And there's the block weighing you down, you know? Anything else for my single Gemini and what's blocking them? Right, the 8 of Wands. Okay, there's some shifts. Gemini, I think you might have to get better at softening. Right, the 8 of Wands, big shifts, changes, right? The Queen of Cups, she's soft. She's connected to her softness. And she uses that to show other people compassion and warmth, which I think really helps when we're trying to connect with someone emotionally and romantically, you know? Because I think, Gemini, you're coming off as the 4 of Pentacles. Maybe a little withholding or self-protective. And I think maybe what happens is, so a small portion of you, it's choosing immature partners, and then therefore puts you in that like regret energy, that disappointment energy. And for another portion of you, I think that this is you being withholding and not giving other people, like not giving enough of yourself. Not giving enough emotionally. We don't want to overgive, but I'm getting the energy of undergiving here with the 4 of Pentacles. And with emotional fulfillment, there is a beautiful balance of a give and take in a beautiful, healthy relationship. All right, let me get Gemini some advice. But first, let's see what's coming in for my single Gemini. Gemini, what is coming in romantic love for my single Gemini? What's coming in for them in romantic love, Gemini? What's coming in for Gemini romantic love? Let's see. I'm going to really shuffle these up. All right. All right, Gemini, let's see what's coming in for you. We have the 6 of Swords. So there's a beautiful moving forward energy. Maybe moving on from just beliefs that don't serve you. Or if there's been emotional turmoil or kind of how we said earlier, if there's that trying to force a happily ever after with a toxic person or a dynamic that's very toxic, I think that this is you moving away from that, and it brings peace. I'm going to pull this card. King of Wands. Okay. There's like a little bit more of a mature, fiery energy coming in. Could be a very sexy person. Also, this could be 2 separate people coming in. The King of Pentacles, I always view him as more like stable husband material or wife material, right? It doesn't have to be husband. There's no gender to these cards, just energy. But this could be like possible marriage material. But sometimes we can get a little blinded by the like hottie patati energy, who might be more based on like this passion than like actual stability. Just a thought. Yeah, there's a new beginning with the Fool coming in. But I think that you might have to release some control. Let's see, anything else coming in romantic love for my single Gemini? Yeah, Knight of Cups. I think that there's potential for new love to come in. For some, right? For some. Could be somebody at work that you meet at work, possibly. Or through what you do for work. I think a lot of you are going to be really busy making money as well. That might distract you from romance. But the Knight of Cups is usually someone coming in with a love offer. Or like at least a date, right? All right, Gemini, let me get you an angel card, a message of hope. Let's get a message of hope for my single Gemini. Gemini, let's get you a message of hope. Let's see. Whoop. Oh, that one flew out. I gotta pick it up. Oh, whoop. Got it. All right. Gemini, 333, support. Focus inward now. Perfect the skills you have, uncover new talents, and unleash your creativity. Embrace your inner artist. Expressing yourself will enhance your self-esteem and solidify your purpose. Your unique abilities can have a positive impact on your community. So the key words are expansion, inspiration, confidence, connection, purpose, and mastery. And maybe that's also part of finding yourself and that wholeness that you might be looking for outside of yourself. All right, Gemini, I hope you have a great week. We'll talk soon. Bye.